Here are emails sent by Animals Australia Strategy Director Lynn White. They read, "There is momentum here in Australia at the moment to phase out the live sheep trade." And this was in an email dated April 2018. She wrote, "The key to achieving the next steps towards ending the trade will be showing that suffering still is occurring." She requested, and this is her own words, "Injured and sick sheep not being found or treated, pens still overcrowded, animals suffering heat stress, or piles of dead sheep, etc." And in an email, a separate email sent on May 31 of last year, Lynn White said she would pay $1,000 US a shipment plus a $500 bonus if what was filmed was valuable. Now, Pakistani seafarer Mahmood Raza Mazher was one of the whistleblowers who had contact with Lynn White and other animal rights groups. He twice offered over email to turn off the ventilation on some of the ship voyages in order to cause the sheep distress. It was an offer that she firmly rejected. Here are the emails from Mahmood. In one email sent on May 31, after White offered to make that money, Mahmood said that he would turn off the ventilation for these voyages. He repeated that offer in a second email where he said he pressed Lynn White and he said he was willing to do it even for a few moments, turn off the ventilation to cause the sheep distress. Now, Mahmood has never revealed his identity until tonight. He now risks his personal safety to go on the record to talk about his role in this scandal. And he's even owning up to the fact that he sent those outrageous emails. Have a listen to my interview with him. What was your job on the Awassi Express?
I was deck cadet there, so my job was assigned by the chief officer. So wherever he assigned me on the navigational watch, on the cargo work, on the CCR or on the pen area, wherever he assigned, it was my duty to follow his instruction.
And how did you first get in contact with animal rights groups?
I was not directly in contact with the animal rights organization. It was the other whistleblower who was in contact with the animal rights organization. He told me to work for an animal rights organization under the payments. So firstly, I was being paid by the other whistleblower.
And in total, during your time that you were on the Awassi Express, how much money did you receive from the animal rights groups?
The other whistleblower promised me that that Australian animal rights organization would pay us more than $1,000 for every voyage, for which we provide them the photographs. And if we got what the organization require, then we can get up to more than $20,000.
Did they specify what sort of photographs they needed you to take in order to get that payment of $20,000?
They told me to show enough to show the suffering of the livestock. When I was in contact with Animal Australia, they gave me the few conditions: that sheep panting for air with their mouth open, congested pile of dead sheep, congested pen areas of sheep, especially the land photographs.
And so this is what Animal Australia said to you in writing, that they would pay you if you got photographs of those sort of conditions of animals in that distress?
They told me that they will pay me $50 per photograph, enough to show the bad light on the industry.
Did you ever switch off ventilation or do anything to cause the animals distress in order to get money from the animal rights groups?
I never did that. I never did this. This is the reason that when I provided the photographs to other whistleblower and he forwarded those to Animals Australia, then the organization said that these are not the conditions what we require.
Mahmood, in total you received $2,000 Australian, which is equivalent to how many years of your salary in your currency?
It is equal to around 1 year's salary.
There was an inquiry into this cash for taking pictures of cruelty on the ships. I understand that you actually sent an email to David Littleproud, who was then the minister in charge, where you had information about some of the other whistleblowers, and did he ever reply to you?
When I saw the 60 minutes video, I was just shocked because it doesn't make any sense what the Fazil has shown on the photographs. So I contacted David Little Proud to alert him photographs should not be trusted. So I emailed him, but unfortunately I didn't got any response from him.
When the investigation was underway this year, were you interviewed?
No, I was not interviewed. No, nobody from the Australian government ever contacted me regarding that.
In your view, generally, I mean, you spent 19 months on the Awasi Express and you've just got off another long voyage as well. In your view, are the sheep and cattle that are on board these ships, do they regularly, are they suffering? Are they in distress?
The cattle were treated better than the crew members on board. We had the Australian vet who used to take care of them, and whichever cattle with the crew member found not okay, they reported to the Australian vet, and that was kept in a separate sick hospital pen. So they were properly fed, they were properly watered, and we had a night watch. In my opinion, I never see any cattle suffering.
Do you think this is a case of cash for cruelty, where some of the workers on the ship were cruel to the animals in order to receive payments from the animal rights groups?
Yes, I believe that this is the case of cash for cruelty. I'm speaking up now because this is my moral responsibility to come up with the truth. The Animals Australia and PETA and other organizations are pretending that whistleblower as a hero. No, I know him very well. He was not, he hasn't done anything for the animal love. He has just did for the money.
Do you think, generally speaking, there is a problem with animal rights groups offering large sums of cash equivalent to 1 year's salary to capture suffering on a ship?
Especially for the young generation, they are much concerned about the money. So they look for the easy path for the money. But these organizations, unfortunately, they are using all this money for the suffering of the animals to show to show their bad condition on live export ship for unethical and illegal work just to obtain their cause. And it is very encouraging for the live export workers that if they are offered more than 1 year's salary and just for the few photographs, they would definitely do that. And Animals Australia and other organizations are offering this for them.
Has your employer paid you to speak out?
I am not paid for anything. I am coming this voluntarily because I realize that this is my moral responsibility to come up, to know the truth to the innocent public and government.